Foggy has 73 days left of his 2023-24 Global Challenge to raise as much money as he possibly can in 1 year for Cure ME. What's on my radar today is that a lot of people in our community may or may not know who Cure ME are, and that sometimes is a barrier to the amount of donations that we get. So this video is entirely about who Cure ME are and why Team Foggy fundraises for them. This is the Cure ME website. I literally Google it and type in Cure ME, and that's why I see that the NHS website has not been updated, because on the right hand side of the Google screen it says chronic fatigue syndrome, symptoms and treatments. Anyway, I digress. This is a really good website, tells you what they do, but obviously if you don't know anything about Cure ME, you won't be likely to Google them. So they are based in the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. They are a charity in their own right because the London School has charitable status. Cure ME do receive funding from the NIH, but as we know, it's inadequate funding, which is why they are heavily reliant on private donors, fundraisers like mine. And it is true that the national charities donate a proportion of their fundraising pot to Cure ME for biomedical research. Now you have to remember, I originally started off my advocacy / fundraising by fundraising directly for the ME Association. But when I originally had the idea, I said to them, I know you do many things with your charitable work, but this fundraising is specifically for research. So every penny I raised in those first 2-3 years, 2014, 2017, went direct to Cure ME, but via the ME Association. In around 2018, I started thinking, hang on a minute, why am I fundraising for the ME Association but asking them to divert funds to Cure ME when I can literally fundraise direct for biomedical research, direct to Cure ME? Cure ME are the people that do the research in the first place. So in my mind, I'm just cutting out the middleman. I'm going straight to the research team. They're known as Cure ME, that's the research team, but they are also linked to part of the MECFS Biobank. So that's where all of our tissue samples and stuff goes to. So those tissue samples are used within their research, which is why it's all kind of in-house, and why I think I'm going to fund Cure ME as much as possible. You can check out this website yourself. It's cureme.lshtm.ac.uk. I will put the link on this post. But like I say, I literally just type in Cure ME and then it comes up in the search results. What I find odd quite regularly is that people will tell me they do not know who Cure ME are, but they've probably shared research by Dr. Lewis Nicole or Eliana Lasada, sorry, apologies, Caroline Kingdon. You know these people, but you're not necessarily understanding that they are part of Cure ME, which is who ME Foggy Dog are fundraising for. As you can see on the screen, Foggy and I visited Cure ME. I think this was back in 2018. My friend Yvonne is bottom left. She was an original Stripy Lightbulb CIC director. And we went up to London for the day to meet the team, talk about our plans with Stripy Lightbulb. It was a really good day, but it was a lovely chance to meet the team. And as I said at the time, it was the first time in my life, especially since my ME started, that I was spoken to with respect, kindness, and I didn't feel the need to explain why I was slurring my speech, why I was running on adrenaline and talking at 100 miles an hour. They're a lovely bunch of people. I told them that while I was there and then, and I've told them that repeatedly since. I think they are a very, very good team that work for the benefit of ME CFS. So, you know, if they weren't, I wouldn't be fundraising for them. Yep, and Jack Butterworth no longer works for QME, but he was the project manager at the time. He's Foggy sat before. There's me. There you go, just to prove where I was. And there's Foggy. You will have seen that picture before. That's all the research lab coats that are literally outside the lab, the laboratory where work happens. And there you go again. All this science stuff. This is what you fund. As has been pointed out to me by QME, donations to Foggy's fund can fund everything and anything from overheads of MECFS Biobank that aren't quite met by donations from charities or the NIH. You could be funding test tubes, refrigeration of samples, or actually funding research projects. Either way, you are funding the practical stuff around finding a cure, treatment, biomarker for ME. Well worth a donation, in my opinion. This map was displayed in the QME office in the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine in 2018, and I asked if they could take a picture of it so I could circulate it on social media. And I did that, and I've done that a number of times over the past 5-6 years, but because I don't do it regularly enough, not everybody's seen it. So what does this map show? So it shows where London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine is based, London, and it shows the reach of their work. All of these are strings of cotton. When you fund QME, you are not solely funding research in England for English patients. As you can see, it reaches out to Australia, to Brazil, to the other side of America and Canada, and loads of places across Europe. QME also take part in Euromine, which is the European ME conference. It's all research, research, research. I can't stress that enough. Not a penny is wasted. So that's their map to show their reach. I guess the main message of this video is QME's reach is international. They are solely about research. And frustratingly for me, but it's actually a good thing, because they spend all of their money on the research, whether that's the biobank side or research studies or Caroline Kingdon travelling to look after ME patients, get samples, get test results, etc., etc. Because they don't waste any money on other stuff, they do not have a really good presence on social media. They don't do loads of PR as in, this is the work we do, because they don't spend money on that. And while that's frustrating for me as someone who fundraises for them, not only do I have to do PR for ME Foggy Dog, I have to run the fundraiser, I have to try and get as much money as possible, but I also have to tell people who Cure ME are. It's frustrating for me personally. However, thinking about it rationally, it is actually a good thing, because they don't have lots of surplus staff. They have the people they need to do the research. They haven't got social media staff. Staff from the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine have like an overarching responsibility for Cure ME's social media output, but tweets are few and far between. There is no money wasted. So I would encourage absolutely anybody that wants biomedical research into myalgic encephalomyelitis, also sometimes wrongly known as chronic fatigue syndrome, please do donate today. There are 73 days left. It would be good to have raised over £1,000 in a year. Thank you very much for listening.